Okay, this is take 2. My last video was sideways, so we're gonna try doing this again and see if I can't get this right one time. There we go. Ta-da! Okay. We are live. Okay, so as you can tell, this is, and hopefully the reason why you're here, is that I wanted to show off that Everything Is Rosy, and it's called a product medley. I will probably call it a bundle or a suite or any number of different things today, but officially it is a product medley. So what this is it's a bundle of products that you can get, and it doesn't necessarily have like a kit would have a bunch of different items, projects in it, so you would make like these 12 cards or whatever. So the Everything Is Rosy medley, what it is it's a bunch of products that work together, but there isn't necessarily projects prescribed for it. Now I do have some instructions for a bunch of different projects and some ideas that you'll get when you buy this, but you don't have to do those things. And move all this stuff away, and I'm going to first of all show you what's all included. So we've got this stamp set. It's a photopolymer stamp set. It has a bunch of greetings, some nice kind of flower images, and some of these kind of leafy branches, and kind of in a couple different styles, the flowers. So that's kind of cool. We've got these kind of solid images, and then these more, they're not actually distinctive, but kind of more that shades of the same ink color you're going to get on those images. And then we also have the dies that go with them. So the dies, there is a few different ones. They cut out some of them, the flowers and the leaves and those kinds of things. And then we have these as well that cut out just some kind of, I call them leafy branches. Hi Corey, hi Sam. So excited you guys are watching. I thought I was going to be talking to myself for a while there. Okay, so these are some of those leafy branches. I had a bit of trouble. My Big Shot is getting old and worn out, so I had some trouble cutting that big long edge piece, but I got these ones cut out, so I'll be using those today. Figured you guys don't want to watch me rolling around on the Big Shot all day. Okay, other things that are included in the bundle, product medley, whatever you want to call them. We've got a bunch of die cuts, so there's some printed flowers, some of these foil labels, and there's 2 different pages of those. So those are all different kind of bits you can play with. Then we've got the rose gold foil, which is so pretty. And then we've got the designer series paper, and there is a ton in this stack. I think there's 8 sheets of each design, and they're 6 by 6, so they're perfect for card making. And they've got the gold foil, I'm going to do that again. They've got the gold foil on the one side, hopefully you can see that. And then they've got just the regular prints on the other side. Now one thing I was a little bit surprised, because it's regular thickness designer series paper, this side, the side that doesn't have the foil, actually has a bit of texture to it. So you can actually, the pattern actually kind of goes through of the foil. So that was a bit of a surprise, but it still works, and you'll see it's all very pretty. Yes, very beautiful, Sam. Lots and lots and lots to do with that. Okay, but wait, there's more. You also get these mirror elements, which don't look like much on the sheet because they actually have a piece of plastic over them. Where you start getting brain farts is when you attach them to things like brads, and see how shimmery that is. Like, you can actually see yourself in those once you peel that plastic off. So this is just a retired, can't remember what these were called, Candy Dot brad bases, and you'll see why I did this in a little bit, because apparently I don't have any brads anymore. Even though we have them in the catalog, I haven't ordered them in a while, so I used some of these retired ones. And then we also have ribbon. So we've got a Melon Mambo ribbon that's kind of that ruched ribbon, and then the Night of Navy with the rose gold edging. And clearly I haven't even opened these yet. What I have opened though, because I very recently kind of discovered this product and went, why haven't I been using this more, is the shimmer paint. So this is the rose gold shimmer paint, and when you get the whole product medley, you actually get a full pot of this, and it's super useful. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways that you can use this. What I like to do is I like to just shake it up because that gets some into the lid. See how there's some in the lid there? This stuff is fairly concentrated, so you don't need a ton of it. I had, again, some retired brads that these were white, and I just took a sponge dauber, got a little paint on it, and daubed that on there. And now I have these rose gold kind of corduroy brads, which I was going to use for my project that I was going to show you, but then I realized they're too big, so I'll keep them for something else. The other place I like to use shimmer paint, and you can use this to sponge onto like the edges of your cards. You can do like little just on your flowers or whatever, and it just has like a nice little shimmer to it. The other thing I like to do with it is our ever amazing and versatile aqua painters. I use these guys for everything, and where I want to show it to you today is to get some splatters on here. So this is something I realize I do, and I never really explain to people how I do it. So I have my old nasty dirty bone folder, and the other thing that I need is my microfiber here. I always have just a cheap microfiber handy because it's good for wiping things off when I inevitably get ink everywhere. So I'm just going to pick up some ink on my aqua painter. You don't need to have a whole bunch of liquid in there. I've got some alcohol in there just because it's still in there. And then what I do is I kind of get some onto that bone folder and then just flick down. And you can see I'm starting to get that rose gold shimmer paint everywhere. And that's how you kind of do those splatters. And that's something that quite a few of the projects actually in the tutorial bundle use, is these splatters. So that is how you do it. Super simple, a couple things you probably have on your desk already. And then you can just take your microfiber and wipe everything off. Now I'm going to set this aside to dry, and we'll use this in a minute because I don't want to end up splurging it all over the place. And yes, that is a very technical term, splurging. You knew what I meant, right? Yes. Yeah, you can use it. You can paint with that shimmer paint as well, and the aqua painter. Okay, what I wanted to show you, because again, I realized it's something that I've done and haven't really explained to you, is how to make a string tie envelope. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say string tie envelope? You'll see when it all comes together. So I'm using my old gift bag punch board. Again, I'm using some retired stuff here, but this is stuff that you probably have lying around. So what I needed to do was I actually needed to measure how deep that goes. And I think it was 1.5 inches. Yeah, okay. So I know that the punch on this goes 1.5 inches in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my designer series paper, and because I want them to overlap, I need these to be a little bit more, like I need the middle section, my main envelope piece, I need to be more than or narrower than 3 inches. So what I'm going to do on either side, I'm going to go in by 1 3/4 inches, and I'm going to make a little mark. 1 3/4 inches and make a little mark. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side because I'm going to want to do this and get it kind of lined up properly. There we go. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line up those marks and I'm going to score. And it doesn't really matter which line you score it on, you just want to score along that line. And I've long lost the bone folder that actually came with my scoreboard, so I'm just using my now clean splatter one. Doesn't look clean, but it is, I swear. Alright, so I'm going to score, wasn't quite lined up. I'm going to score down the side, and this is going to determine how wide my envelope is. There we go. So this is how wide my envelope's going to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch out the tabs across the top. So I'm going to just punch on those score marks on either side. Hey, Amanda. And same thing on this side. Okay, now I have kind of two options. I can either just cut these, or if I want them to kind of match this bend, I can line up so that these again line up to the edge there. And now these aren't going to punch like totally out. They're going to have this little piece here that I'm going to have to trim just with a pair of scissors. But you'll see how this all lines up a bit better in a second. Okay, so I'm done with this. I'm going to get my snips in here. And I'm just going to trim the sides down here. And these little side pieces, as beautiful as they are, and as much as I tell myself, oh, I can punch something out of those, whatever. No, they have to go away, because otherwise I end up with little pieces all over. Oh, and I forgot to score this part, because I want my envelope flaps to actually close, right? So there's that one. And this one here. And I'm just lining this up by eyeball. Okay, so now can you see how my envelope actually comes together? So these parts are going to overlap so that I can glue those closed. And then these come down like that. So that's kind of how my envelope comes together. But now before I glue it, I want to put on my little brads, which is where, yeah, Corey, after a while you just have to learn to let go of the little bits. I hung on to too many for too many years and ended up moving them too many times. And I had to just learn to say goodbye. All right, so now I've got two brads that have a mirror embellishment on them. I can't remember what they're called, mirror element or something like that. And I need, that's one thing I forgot, I need a scrap piece of Night of Navy. So I need to find my Night of Navy scraps here, easier said than done. Oh, that's not that. Oh, come on. I know you're around here somewhere. You can't have gone that far. You know what? We're just talking about getting rid of all the scraps and stuff like that. I still have a ton of scraps, don't get me wrong. But when it's that one color you're looking for, do you think you can find them? Ha! There we go. I have a Night of Navy scrap. There we go. And then I've got my punch here, so I'm using my, hi Marianina, I've got my 1/2 inch circle punch here, and I've got 2 circles. So these are very important circles. And then I've got my, this is, what is this, an 1/8 inch hole punch. You can use whatever hole punch you want. When you line that up wherever you want it, you're just going to, oops, not drop here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this the cheater way. Why don't I show you the cheater way? All right, a little bit of snail on there, not a ton, and put it where you want it. Now this one, if the envelope was bigger, I'd put it down there, but I'm actually going to put it on the other flap because this is such a tiny little envelope. The whole thing is only, what, 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. So I think this would just barely fit a gift card. Then I'm going to poke a hole in either of these and put my brad through it. Now you don't want these brads to be too tight, so don't worry about getting them super tight on your cardstock, because you do still want to, I know, isn't it? I just got it. I literally like unwrapped it last night and was like, I gotta do a live tomorrow. Let's glue this bugger down while we're here. Now we'll just use snail. Normally if I want something like this to hold together really well, I'll use tear and tape, but for this I'm just gonna use some snail. And then I'm gonna take a length of baker's twine here and then wrap it around, and you want it to go under the paper. So this is where that snail I kind of shot myself in the foot because it might not go under there very well, but I will make it work. Come on, you can do it. There we go. It's kind of like flossing your teeth. There's some gunk under there. Okay, there we go. So that is my little string tie envelope, and how you can tie it closed. And then again, to open it, those of us that never actually had to do this with real envelopes because they'd invented the sticky stuff, so you can just slide in, like I said, a little gift card or make a little card to fit in there. But I just wanted to show you how you can make those. Obviously with the 6x6 paper, you're a little limited in the size you can make. You could probably make it a little bit wider, and if you cut these yourself, there's templates and stuff out there, or you use a different punch board, you might be able to do that. But with this punch board, this is kind of the biggest size that you can make. Okay, there is that. Now I wanted to make a card too, because might as well. So I've got my shimmer paint is still not quite dry here. And then I think I'm gonna make a note card because I don't wanna have to worry about making a card base. So, oh, those are not my note card bases. There's a note card base. All right, so I've got a note card base here, and I'm going to cut that for the front. Now these are 3.5 by 5, yeah. I always have to double check myself there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut 1 inch off of this because these are 6x6. So I can't measure on this cutter the whole 6 inches that way, so I'm gonna do it this way. And then 3.5, and I'm hoping I'm gonna cut off that paint that's still wet. Perfect. We'll save that for another day. Alrighty. And this is more just to kind of show you how quick and easy you can make a whole whack of cards from this, because I'm just going to use some of the pre-done stuff, and it kills me to cover up the back of this, but it's going to have to happen. So there is that on the front. And then I've got these die cuts, so I might as well use these. And then I need a label. So which one of these labels do I want to use? I'm going to use this one. Alrighty. So I've got that, and then I've got my Night of Navy ink around here somewhere. I need a greeting. What's the greeting? Oh, I guess the thank you is about the only one that will fit on there. Oh, I guess I like that actually. I didn't even see that. Don't let worry spoil your happy. That's super cute. I like that. I'm gonna do that one. Yeah, I like note cards too, Amanda. My kind of biggest reason for liking note cards is it's super easy to make sets with them. So I like to make, like, for gifts and stuff like that, I will make a set of cards with note cards. And you can fit a bunch of them into like one of our medium clear envelopes, which is kind of nice. All right. lays out here. Hi, Sue. Everybody's coming on tonight. So nice to see everybody. Okay. I'm gonna put some ribbon around here. Yeah, that's what was missing. Okay. All right, who knows what I'm gonna do next? What do I always do when I do these lives? While you're thinking of that, Amanda, pick a stamp set and give yourself the challenge to do 5 different cards with that stamp set. Works really well. Just 5 different cards, 1 stamp set, and make a bunch of cards, and then give the whole set away to somebody. Next time you go over to somebody's house or whatever, just give them the set of cards. And yes, I did the glue dot trick. Oh, Sue, yeah, that's a hard day. I hope he's doing okay. Now, did I do this? No, I did this right, I think. All right, got my little bow on here now. On my glue dot. And Amanda, they don't have to be this fancy. Like, it's a great time to do your simple stamping, because you don't have to go all out for a set of cards, right? You can kind of keep them more simple. Yeah, you can put them, Corey, if you do the full-size cards, you can put them in an acetate box. I like to do, let's see, I think I've got a sample here somewhere. Or they're all at the shop, but I'll do just a medium clear envelope like this, and I'll put a piece of designer series paper in the back, and then I'll tuck some note cards in there just like that. And so it doesn't fill the whole thing, but this will easily hold like 3 if they have a ribbon or something like that, but 5 if they're plain, with these in there. And then sometimes I'll put a little tag on the bow or something like that. It's just it's a simple way. It's not as involved as a box. I had some dimensionals around here somewhere. Okay. Oh, I should probably put a few more dimensionals on here because it's going over the ribbon. I wish I could take credit for that idea, but that is, I got in Red Deer, on stage in Red Deer, I got a swap from oh, I can't even remember who it was, one of the Stampin' Up! Corporate people. I got a swap from her. I think, was it Donna Griffiths? And that's what it was. It was a set of 3 little cards like that. I just thought that was brilliant. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is tuck my little leafy branches, I'm calling these. Sue, are you going to come to my house and be crafty with your kit? Because that was the next thing I was going to talk about, is if you would like all these magical things. Now, I know that most of you that are watching right now, I'm pretty sure, are demonstrators. So you've probably got your own. But if you would like to come to my house here in Powell River on the 18th, I'm just hosting a little get-together, and anybody who would like can come and work on their Everything Is Rosy kit. If you already have yours, that's great, come on by. If you would like to get one, let me know kind of as soon as possible that you would like one, and I will order you one. The other thing that I'm doing, because for some people it's a big investment, it's $109 Canadian for all of these products. Now, they're well worth it when you actually do the math and try to figure out how much you would pay for all these things on their own, and none of them are available on their own. You have to get it as the medley. I'm just trying to shove this little leafy branch under there. So if you'd just like to try some things out, what I'm doing is I'm offering kind of like a product share. So what that is for $20, you won't get the paint, the stamp set, or the dies, but for $20, I'll send you some of the other stuff. So you get some designer series paper, some labels, some of the ribbon, and the instructions for the project, and you can just finish it with your own stamp sets. I don't know where this other little branch is supposed to go. Maybe I'll just tuck it under here. There we go. All right, so that is my little thing. So if you would like the whole bundle and don't have it yet, let me know. I can get you one still. They are while supplies last, so there is kind of no guarantees how long they're gonna last. Or if you'd like my little sampler of some designer series paper, some embellishments, some ribbon, and some of the pre-done labels and flowers. Like I said, that's $20 and that's shipping included, so just let me know. You can also go online, and if you have your cell phone handy, you can use the camera. This will, if you point it at this, it'll take you straight to my online store, and you can get the Everything Is Rosy medley, product medley. Use the host code. It's always on my blog at thecraftymedic.com. Or this is the one right now, VXWAA796, N6, not 96, and that'll put you on my radar so that I can send you the instructions for those 10 projects. And I know I'm going to be hanging on to some of this rose gold stuff until I use it up, especially this shimmer paint. I just love it. Yeah, you can order that to my online store there and enjoy. Like the 10 projects that I've got, they don't even use that much of the supplies. So, and you'll get some of the make and take extra stuff too. So like the twine and that and the brads. So, all right, happy stamping. I gotta go feed my puppy, and I will see all of you later. Have fun. Bye-bye.